It's been a full week of events and activities here on the Texas Tech campus, but there's still one day left this week, and it just happens to be the most romantic day of the year. Find out how one student group gave some Red Raiders the chance to snag a last-minute gift before the Day of Love.
Local musicians are currently sharing their skills and creativity with the Lubbock community through a unique project showcasing the best of what the city has to offer. MCTV's Macy Ranzer has the details on how you can discover some new tunes and support the local music scene.
There's not a day that goes by that the White House isn't in the headlines, and today is no exception. Kiley Phillips will be in to get you up to speed with the top stories you need to know in today's edition of MCTV's Inside the Issues.
And it was a big night at the USA as the Red Raider basketball team pulled an all-out stop in hopes of defeating another Big 12 opponent. MCTV's Jade Hernandez has the stats from Texas Tech versus Arizona State, along with a wrap-up of the rest of the headlines in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Maresa Sisk.
And I'm Chilcutt. It's been another busy week here on Texas Tech campus with a variety of options for the Red Raider community.
The events calendar has included everything from midterm prep to the opening of an historic museum exhibit. But for some students, this week has also been a countdown to the most love-filled day of the year. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and several student organizations have been helping out their fellow Red Raiders by providing last-minute options to show that special someone how much they care. Starting yesterday, Raiders Helping Others set up a table outside the sub to sell Valentine grams, carnation flowers, lollipops, and Valentine cards, which were all available for $3. The group braved yesterday's cold conditions, sitting outside from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for the fundraiser.
We're selling Valentine grams to promote the holiday and to fundraise for our alternative spring break trips. So we're going to Denver, Colorado and Hot Springs, Arkansas to volunteer the whole week of spring break.
Raiders Helping Others provides volunteer opportunities for students throughout the semester. Along with the out-of-town trips over spring break, RHO is also organizing several options for students to give back to the Lubbock community. For more information on RHO and how you can get involved, search for Raiders Helping Others on Tech Connect.
Although several groups survived yesterday's freezing temperatures outside the sub, there was also another event inside the student union where students could warm up while preparing for one of the most stressful times of the semester. The Road to Midterms event took place yesterday in the sub ballroom. The event kicked off at 10 a.m. and featured free food, study supplies, and representatives from a variety of free campus resources available to all Red Raiders. Students could also take advantage of the dedicated study spaces throughout the ballroom to do homework or midterm planning. Red Raider Academic Success organized yesterday's event, and Senior Director Brandon Cruz said Road to Midterms is just one way the department helps students throughout their academic career at Texas Tech.
What we do is we support students during moments of their college journey. We're here to support our entering first-year students and working with students as they need us to come in and help them find the right resources they need through one-on-one appointments, establishing success plans to help them navigate their semester, and really just holding them accountable and giving them agency in their college pathway.
The Road to Midterms event wrapped up yesterday around 3 p.m., but if you missed it, you still have time to take advantage of free academic resources available for students. For much more information, contact one of your college's student success specialists. You can find a complete list by visiting studentengagement.ttu.edu and clicking on Student Success Specialist near the top of the page.
25 years ago, an artist from Lubbock made an impression on a government agency and cemented her place in history. And earlier this week, her contribution has celebrated during a special event. On Tuesday, Greg Weinman, Deputy Chief Counsel from the United States Mint, gave a public lecture at the Museum of Texas Tech. Weinman's presentation focused on the 25th anniversary of the Sacagawea dollar, a U.S. coin that was first minted in 2000. The design of the coin was selected from the submissions of more than 20 artists, including Lubbock native Glenna Goodacre. Goodacre's creation was eventually chosen to be showcased on more than 1 billion coins that have been minted over the last 25 years.
Glenna, every one of her designs was coinable, but what made it different from other designs that came in like that is they were incredibly human. It had emotion. The coin Sacagawea guiding with her baby on her back we had not thrown that idea out. She came up with that by herself.
Weinman's lecture also marked the official opening of a new exhibit at the TTU Museum, featuring the design process of Sacagawea dollar. The exhibit artifacts that showcase Goodacre's process, from her first sketches to the plaster relief used to create the coin. The exhibit will be on display from now through June 15th.
The national news has been dominated by daily headlines coming out of Washington, D.C. since the inauguration of President Donald Trump at the beginning of the year.
There's almost too many stories to keep up with, but Kiley Phillips is here to help sort through the details and bring us the top headlines in today's Inside the Issues. Kiley?
Thanks, Maresa and Ty. Elon Musk has been making changes to various government agencies through the newly created Department of Government Efficiency, frequently referred to as DOGE, where he serves as a special government employee. DOGE's cuts to the Department of Education is something that college students should pay attention to. So far, the department has had to terminate 89 contracts that total up to $881 million, as well as 29 training grants for topics under DEI that total up to $101 million. These grants included one that trains teachers to help students understand complex histories involved in oppression. These cuts are steps towards a potential executive order from President Donald Trump with hopes to dismantle the department entirely. However, despite the president's order, the DOE cannot be dismantled simply because of an executive order. Congress created the DOE, so therefore the only way to shut it down would be to go through Congress themselves. Now, with the Republican majority in Congress and some key Trump supporters in powerful positions, it is possible that the department could be entirely shut down in the future. Experts have predicted that because of Congress's power over the department, Trump's executive order would likely lessen the power of the agency rather than dismantle it as a whole. Currently, the function of the DOE involves programs that are funded through the federal budget that benefit college students, such as the Pell Grant and the Work Study Program. The agency also oversees programs such as Title I, which provides financial assistance to school districts in low-income areas. President Donald Trump held calls with both Russian President Putin and Ukrainian President Zelensky to discuss the potential end to the war in Ukraine over the phone Wednesday. It marked the first of what could be many diplomatic efforts between the countries. President Trump said that Putin indicated he would be willing to negotiate directly with Zelensky. In a post to Truth Social, Trump said, "We both agreed we want to stop the millions of deaths taking place in the war with Russia and Ukraine." Negotiations are set to begin with Secretary of State Marco Rubio and a team of other cabinet members immediately. Discussions over visits to each other's countries, the Iranian nuclear program, as well as the Middle East settlement were all other topics of the two leaders' 90-minute call, according to Putin's advisor, Dmitry Peskov. The initial skepticism many Americans had regarding President Trump's cabinet picks is slowly wearing as the Senate continues to confirm the nominees. So far, 15 out of the 22 nominees have been confirmed. Tulsi Gabbard was just confirmed yesterday to be the Director of National Intelligence. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has faced hurdles throughout his hearings. This includes skepticism surrounding some of his more controversial views on abortion and vaccines. Former Republican Majority Leader Mitch McConnell was the only Republican to switch their vote in favor of the Democrats this morning. When asked about his vote, McConnell said that he has watched vaccines save lives, and he could not support the questioning of proven cures. Despite this, the Senate confirmed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. this morning in a 52-48 majority vote. That was a look inside of this week's issues. I'm Kiley Phillips. See you next Thursday. Back to you, Maresa and Ty.
Thanks, Kiley. The Lubbock area is well known for helping to produce some big names in the music industry. Artists like Buddy Holly, Natalie Maines, and the band Flatland Cavalry have all become names familiar to many music fans.
But there's another generation of local musicians who hope one day to add their names to the local list of celebrities. MCTV's Macy Ranzer stopped by an event earlier in the semester to check out a special event showcasing some of the best music the Hub City has to offer.
Here at the Lubbock Memorial Civic Center, a private listening party is going on for multiple artists who got selected to be a part of this year's Lubbock Music Now 2025. On January 29th, KCBD's James Epler hosted the Lubbock Music Now's listening party and gathered the artists and their friends and families to allow them to experience the album before anyone else. Dustin Garrett has been on multiple of Lubbock Music Now's albums and describes the process as easy. Once you apply with your song, a panel group will decide which songs make the album.
But this year it was something a little bit more R&B, 80s, the song that I presented. So that's the good thing about this album is there's just so much diversity in the genres and the music, and that's what we have right here in Lubbock.
Trayvon Riley, also known as Young Rip, is a 20-year-old artist whose song Count Me In was featured on the album. He hopes that his fan base continues to grow around West Texas.
It means a lot. I don't quite get that much recognition, so when they recognized me, I was like, oh, this is a great opportunity, something to jump on into.
The album's official release date is Sunday, February 2nd, and Fox News Now is putting on a television special for the album that goes through Sunday, February 2nd until Sunday, March 30th. For MCTV, I'm Macy Ranzer. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Macy. After breaking the record for high temperatures for nearly a week, winter has made a dramatic return here in the Lubbock area.
Cold temperatures and even some wintry precipitation forced students to pull out their winter weather gear just days after wearing shorts and t-shirts. But will you need to keep the heavy jackets around for the weekend? Chief Weather Specialist Elisabeth Herring joins us now in the studio to let you know what to expect in today's MCTV forecast. Elisabeth?
Well, definitely a cloudy afternoon. However, we are starting to see those clouds begin to move out of the area. It was definitely a lot cloudier yesterday, as well as colder yesterday. We didn't even make it out of the 30s. Yesterday, our high was 37 by midnight. We had a low of 22, so definitely cooler yesterday. Those clouds were very heavy yesterday, and that cloud coverage is beginning to get a little bit lighter this afternoon. Tomorrow, however, we should start to see those more partly cloudy skies, the sun really starting to peek out. Saturday, we could have the chance in the northern parts of the South Plains area for some precipitation, but for the most part, we should be partly cloudy on Saturday. Well, as cloudy weather, we've also had dry weather. We haven't had any rain past. However, last week we did have that warm front come in, so temperatures much higher, highs in the upper 80s, lower 90s, which is contributing to the dryness we're having in the South Plains right now. Right now, we are abnormally dry on our drought monitor. Hopefully, we might see some rain in the northern South Plains area this weekend. Well, tonight here locally in Lubbock, low of 28. Tomorrow, warming up back in the 60s with a high of 66 and partly sunny skies, south-southwest winds at 19 miles per hour, so a little bit breezy as we end our week. Taking a look at our weekend, Saturday high of 58, Sunday high of 48, sunny skies for Saturday and mostly sunny for Sunday, so a relatively nice weekend. However, is a little bit chilly. Just keep that in mind, especially our lows in the 20s. So if you do have outdoor plans, make sure to keep that in mind as you get ready for your evening. Starting off next week, a little bit warmer, back in the 60s on Monday with a high of 66. And unfortunately, it looks like those clouds are back on Monday and Tuesday with a high of 37 on Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, sun's starting to peek back out with a high of 38 on Wednesday and 43 on Thursday. Lows in the 20s and lower teens next week. We could even possibly see some single-digit lows next week as well. Well, Friday is Valentine's Day, so if you do have outdoor plans, it looks like that is going to be a nice day for that. Weather going to be able to cooperate with you in a nice way to end off our school week. I'm Elizabeth, and it's back to y'all.
Thanks, Elizabeth. This week's chilly temperatures led to a cold night for tech students waiting to get into the United Supermarkets arena for last night's Red Raider basketball game.
But if you asked anybody who was there, they would probably tell you it was worth it. MCTV's Jade Hernandez has a look back at a huge showdown on the court, along with some updates from around the rest of Texas Tech athletics and sports. Jade?
Thank you, Ty and Marisa. What a game. Texas Tech fans, if you were at the United Supermarkets Arena Wednesday night, you witnessed history. The number 12 Red Raiders delivered their highest scoring performance ever in a Big 12 game, outlasting Arizona State in an absolute thriller. 111-106 in double overtime, and at the center of it all, JT Toppin with a career-defining performance. Let's break it all down. Toppin was nothing short of unstoppable. 41 points, 15 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. When Arizona State threw their best punches, he punched back even harder. And he wasn't alone. Darian Williams had 27 points, including a clutch steal and 2 ice-cold free throws to give Tech the lead for good in double OT. And let's not forget Chance McMillan, who forced overtime with a putback at the buzzer. Talk about nerves. This game had it all: 18 lead changes, 14 ties, and moments that had Red Raider Nation on the edge of their seats. With this win, Tech moves to 19-5 on the season and 10-3 in Big 12 play, staying hot on the heels of first place Houston and second place Arizona. Next up, the Red Raiders hit the road to take on Oklahoma State this Saturday. The Cowboys are 12-12, but as we all know, in the Big 12 there are no easy wins. Expect another battle as Tech fights to keep their momentum rolling. Despite Jasmine Shavers and Logan Johnson scoring in double figures, the Texas Tech Lady Raiders fell to the number 9 ranked TCU Horned Frogs by a score of 63-42 on Saturday afternoon at Schollmeyer Arena. For Texas Tech, Shavers recorded her 22nd double-digit game of the season with a team-leading 15 points, totaling double figures in 7 of the last 8 games. Shavers tallied a team-best 2 steals for her 13th game this season with 2 or more steals in a game. Sophomore Logan Johnson scored her 4th double-figure game this year in the contest with 11 in the game on 4 for 7 shooting from the field. On the rebounding side, the team was led by Jade Hernandez as she recorded her 4th game this season with 5 or more boards. In addition, Shavers, Johnson, and Kiley Phillips each had 4 rebounds apiece. The Lady Raiders will be coming off a bye week as they host Baylor this Saturday at 2 p.m. at the United Supermarkets Arena. Now let's shift gears and talk baseball because Texas Tech is ready to swing for the fences. The 2025 season is officially underway, and what better way to kick things off than with the 3-game showdown against number 6 North Carolina. The Red Raiders are rolling into Chapel Hill looking to make an early statement against a Tar Heels squad that made it to the College World Series last season. The first pitch for the 3-game series is set for Friday at 4 p.m. All eyes will be on Tech's revamped roster featuring 25 newcomers, including JUCO home run leader Robin Villanueva and Stetson standout Logan Hughes. And let's not forget, this marks the Red Raiders' first official season sporting their brand new Adidas gear. A fresh look, a fresh season, and a chance to make some serious noise in the college baseball world. Speaking of fresh seasons, Texas Tech softball is off to a blazing 5-1 start. Number 8 Texas Tech will head to Austin this weekend to compete in the Bevo Classic hosted by number 1 Texas. The Red Raiders will face UMass Texas Maryland beginning on Friday. Tech will open the weekend against the Minutewomen at 1:30 p.m. on Friday at McCombs Field before playing in-state rival Texas at 6:30. On Saturday, Texas Tech will face UMass again at 11 a.m. and follow that game with the matchup against Maryland at 1:30 p.m. before closing out the weekend against the Longhorns on Sunday at 12:30 p.m. And lastly, let's not forget about Texas Tech track and field. The men's indoor team is currently ranked number 4, while the women's indoor team holds the number 1 ranking in the nation. Senior sprinter Sean Brown was named the Big 12 Athlete of the Week after clocking in at 6.52 in the 60-meter sprint at the New Mexico Collegiate Classic. This time ranks him number 3 in the nation and 6th in the world, leading the Big 12 with just 2 weeks before the conference championships. Brown is set to compete in the 200-meter at this week's Jarvis Scott Open, where he holds a season-best time of 20.62. The Red Raiders will host the Jarvis Scott Open this Friday and Saturday, marking the final regular season meet of the year. Expect big performances as the team builds momentum heading into the postseason. For more information on the Jarvis Scott Open schedule, visit texastech.com. That's a wrap for this week's sports update. Stay tuned for all the latest in Texas Tech athletics. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jade. As we mentioned earlier, the schedule of events here on campus was packed this week. And one of the first things on the list kicked off the week with an event 50 years in the making. On Monday, the College of Media and Communication welcomed in dozens of members of Texas Tech community for a time capsule reveal. Current and former faculty, staff, and students joined alumni in the 3rd floor student lounge to check out one of the first openings of a time capsule on campus. The capsule included artifacts from the university's first year of classes, but it also focused on items from 1975, the year it was sealed. The time capsule was an idea proposed by then chairman of the Department of Mass Communications, Dr. Billy Ross. Ross organized the capsule, collecting copies of the campus newspaper, the Lubbock Avalanche Journal, and other recordings and publications to showcase life at Texas Tech in 1975. All of the items were revealed to the public during Monday's event, and attendees had a chance to examine and photograph each of the items as they were laid out in front of the room. The event also marked the first public appearance by new Media and Communication Dean, Dr. Bei Ling Shaw. Monday's time capsule reveal was one of the first events to commemorate Tech's 100th year of operation. The university officially opened to students in September of 1925. So Maresa, did you have a chance to check out any of the items from that 50-year-old time capsule?
I actually did, and I have to say it was pretty cool to see all of those artifacts from the early stages of Texas Tech.
That's great. The experience in general, absolutely massive. That's all for today's edition of the MCTV's Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you next week.